I'm just waiting for another moment for everyone to join us. I see that people start coming to the streaming. Okay. So, good afternoon, hello, and salam alaikum, everyone. I am Rasha Ahmed, the communication manager at the MSF UAE regional office. And today we have the second session on the occasion of the International Women's Day. It's a huge pleasure to host today my colleague, Samah Abdelmonien. Uh, she has been with MSF for 2 years now, and she went in two major missions. Hello, Samah. How are you? Salam alaikum.
Hello, alaikum salam. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm very happy to have you today with us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure also. Thank you.
Thank you. So I think we can start with the introductions, and I would like to give you the floor, Samah, to introduce yourself and your relations with MSF.
Okay. So I am Samah Abdelmonien. I am Sudanese. I am an architect. I studied the science of architecture in University of Khartoum. I graduated 2011, and then I came back again to University of Khartoum to have my MSc studies. I finished my master's studies at 2017. I started working with MSF in 2020. I was recruited March 2020, but then it was the COVID year, so everything was a mess. I started going on missions in 2021. April was my first mission in Uganda. I went for 4 months, and then I came back to Sudan. I spent 3 weeks, and then I went in a second mission to Nigeria. Now I was back from Nigeria in December. I spent 3 months. Now I go back again next week to Nigeria for a third mission, inshallah.
Inshallah. So you have been very active in your missions in a challenging time. It's not easy to have a humanitarian field mission during COVID-19 time.
Yeah, it was very difficult. It was a mess. It was planned to go directly in a mission in 2020, but then everything was postponed after that. Yeah.
Of course. So Samah, tell us why you choose to be a humanitarian. Like, and usually we don't have this concept that engineer, women, and humanitarian. So why you choose to work as a humanitarian?
Well, it started early, before even I start working with MSF, because in our field, of course, you work as an architect for a certain kind of people, but you feel like you want to give the community somehow. S- So for me, to be able to do this, to help the people who are really in need in some way. For me as an architect, I will not be able to do it. Our clients are always people who have the ability to construct and to, so they are not people in need, I would say. So we have an organization, NGO, also here in Sudan called Arc Peace. It is an international organization which have an office here in Sudan, which focus on improving the built environment of poor communities. So, uh, trying to work with this organization, I felt like you have a different kind of feeling when you do something that allows you to help people who are in need, to make your profession also to in a way that helps people are in need. So it gives you a different kind of feelings, or I would say you feel that what you do have real meaning to it. So after trying to work from time to time with ArcPeace, it was a bit hard because it was just volunteer work in my spare time. So it wasn't really as I was hoping for it to be. So to be able to work with MSF, it is definitely better. It gives you to do this, to be able to help people in a better way. It is not like when you are trying to do it in your spare time, because it will be very difficult to do it that way. So it started from this. And at the same time, I have a lot of my relatives who worked with MSF in different fields. So I knew MSF from early time. That's why I had the chance to have this idea and try to work with MSF, to be in this field.
That's very interesting indeed. And you know, the first idea that comes to the mind when you say Doctor Without Borders, people imagine that everyone working in the organizations are doctors. Many, like, many times people call me a doctor, and I think maybe it's same for you. So, working as an engineer, does this tell us about the diversity within the organizations? Can you tell us about the workforce
Yes,
and the missions that you saw?
even for me, it was that idea at the beginning.
So how do you see the life in the field, the missions, and your relations with your colleagues? How do you see that?
I think the connection started to cut off. I'm not sure
Okay,
why. Can you
you can
repeat again?
hear me?
Now it's better. Yeah.
Okay. So I was asking you about the field life. How do
Mm.
you see the field life and your relations with your colleagues? Can you describe this for us?
I would say at the beginning, I thought it will be a bit challenging because even for me, I have never worked as a national staff before with MSF. I started as an international staff, so I didn't know exactly how it would be. So at when I went to the first mission in Uganda, it was like I was exploring and trying to understand how it would be. But it was a lot easier than what I tried to imagine or expect. So, and everybody in the field, when they know that you are a first missioner, they all try to help you, to adapt, to understand how the field life goes. You have a lot of also briefings on the official aspect to understand how it goes. But at the same time, the people who you live with at the house are the people who you work with, but they try to help you to understand how it goes and to feel comfortable and to adapt very well to that life. So it wasn't really challenging as I expected it. It was a lot easier.
It's fantastic. So, as a woman, still as a woman in mission, and as an engineer, what are the major challenges in your view that you face during your first days in the mission? And have you seen that MSF help you to integrate it more and more in the mission, or there are some challenges you think it will take time to overcome?
For a woman as an engineer, for me here in Sudan, first when I was graduated, it was a bit challenging because to have a female engineer was something not very common. But the last years, it became very common. So here in Sudan, it wasn't challenging. So when I was starting the field missions with MSF, I didn't expect that it would be again something challenging to be a female engineer. But apparently it depends, or definitely it depends on the community if they do have a lot of female engineers or not. So when I went to Uganda, and again even in Nigeria, uh, and more in Nigeria, it wasn't very common to have a female engineer. So it was a bit challenging, but I wouldn't say it was hard because everybody around me was trying to help me. So it was in a good way. If like the contractors in the community, they always try to help. Like we have a female engineer, we will try to make everything easier for me. For MSF, definitely you will have a lot of You will feel that like things are everybody around you is trying to also make anything not I would say easy but feasible and to make it easy for you to do your work and to accomplish your mission. So you will definitely have help from both community and from MSF. So challenging, but I wouldn't say it will make the work hard to do. Definitely not.
Well, this is good news. This is good news. Okay, we move now to your personal life. Okay, and
Mm,
I speak about the life balance, how you balance your daily routines between your work, especially in the mission like Nigeria. Again, it's not an easy context to work in, and your personal interests,
mm.
personal life planner, your relations with your family, how you balance this, how you make the balance.
I would say that one was one of the challenges I didn't really expect to have that balance between, because as I said, especially in Nigeria, my room was to the back of my office. So basically, you live where you kind of work. So it is a real challenge to make sure that you separate like between the time for work and the time for you, your personal time. So there were a lot of efforts from everybody in the house to create activities to make sure that everybody like relieves their minds and forget about work when we come to the evening. So the activities was basically to do this, to help you with this challenge, to have a personal time. Then even you, for yourself, apart from the activities, it is a challenge, but it is something that you teach yourself to do. That I will need to create some time for myself to watch a movie, to call my family, to call my friends, to make sure that I can still manage to stay attached to the people like back home. And actually, this time also will help you to have time for yourself and to relieve your mind a bit from the stress of work. So it is challenging, but something that you can manage to do. And MSF also puts everybody mind that you have to have the team life, which helps you to separate from work and have some personal time. So sometimes I manage to do it, sometimes I don't succeed doing it, but it's something that I put in my mind that I should always try to manage and do.
Oh. And of course, yesterday was the International Women's Day. So, and I see that we have already audience joining from different places today, watching our webinar. And I presume that some of the audience wants to be one day humanitarian and wants to join the same career as you did. So, what's your message to women in general? And what's your message for audience or for people looking for a career or looking for a contribution in the humanitarian sector? You can hear me, right? You need me to
Rasha, can you repeat the last? Yeah.
sorry, the connection. I I was asking you about your message for the women on the International Women's Day, and also your advice or and message for the women who wants to be humanitarians, who wants to work or contribute to the humanitarian sector. So, what's your message? You can't hear me, right? Hello, hello, hello,
Hello.
hello. You can hear me now? I think
Hello.
there's a problem with the internet. You can hear me? Hi? You can hear me?
Still poor connection, Rasha. I can't hear you.
You can hear me? You can hear me? There is a problem with the internet. Hello?
Yes, now it's better.
Now it's good. You can hear me now. You can hear me now?
Now I hear you.
Okay.
I hear you
So,
better.
okay, so I was asking about your message for women.
Yeah,
Message
it comes and goes.
comes and
Let
goes.
us try.
Sorry. I will type my question here so you can see. You can see my message. Should be, and your message to women. You can see my message.
Okay, now I see your message. Yeah. You hear me well? I can respond.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
So my message for women who wants to be humanitarians. Okay. So for me, I would say that it is something that you should seek to do. Definitely. Um, from my side, for example, my experience was that I was a bit scared at the beginning. I had some fears, definitely. So to do it, it doesn't mean that you will not be scared, that you will not be afraid from trying to do this. But definitely, the point is just to manage that fear and to try to do what you want to do. So when I started before I go to Uganda mission, I was really scared. I was scared about the whole experience. I was scared, will I succeed it or not? Will I have a second mission or it will be a complete failure for me? Will I survive being alone away from my family, from my husband? So I had a lot of fears, definitely. But then I was like, okay, I will do it. I will try and I will do my best, definitely. But I will not put a lot of pressure on myself. The point is that it's something that I want to do, and I will do my best to try and do it in a good way. And then I started, and it went well, really. You receive a lot of help, you receive a lot of support from your family, from people who you work with in MSF. So everything will definitely go a lot better than you expect. So definitely do not let fear stop you from trying what you want. It is not wrong to have fears. It is a normal thing for everybody. But then you just try to do it with your fears and see how to manage those stresses and fears. So definitely it is something that it is an experience that everybody should experience, even if it's for the long term plans, even if it is something that you want to try for a while. It's something definitely I would advise to try and do.
You can hear me now? I hope you hear me. No? Okay, I will keep sending questions to Samah on the chat because I think there is a problem with the sound.
Hello?
Samah, are you able
Okay,
to?
how I apply to MSF.
Yes.
So, as I told you, I have some relative who work with MSF. So since I was graduated, they were like, okay, try to work with MSF, try to apply maybe to the uh, offices that we have in Khartoum. But for me, at the beginning, I felt like, okay, I don't have enough experience. I don't even understand what engineers do in a medical organization. But after around 8 years and after 8 years experience and after finishing my MSc studies, I felt like, okay, maybe now I have enough experience to do this and I'm ready. So MSF have a website that where you apply to fill the positions. So I tried the website. You just apply with your CV and a cover letter explaining why you want to be in the humanitarian field. I did it, and then it was a bit long recruitment process. It took around 6 months, but yeah, it finished well. It starts with your technical validation to validate you as. After I applied my CV, it took around 3 months to validate me as an architect for MSF, and then we started the interviews process. It took also around 3 months. It finished in March 22 when I was finally recruited with MSF.
Wonderful. Samah, we are about to close the session. So, do you have anything to say at the end of our session?
Okay. Okay, I would just think about my general experience with MSF. I would say that it really added a lot to me, not just on the professional aspect, but also on the personal leveling, because to the experience, the whole experience, to travel and to go to a different country, to a different cultural context, to work with people from different cultural also contexts, to be able to help people that you see are in need, which also like a different kind of feelings. All those things combined, they give you a really exceptional experience.
Mm,
So those two missions really added a lot. It is a short period, like 7 months, but I would say it added a lot to me,
mm,
personal and professional, definitely. So I'm really happy with the whole experience until now, and I'm sure that I'm ready to try more missions and experiences with MSF, definitely.
mm.
And for the humanitarian work, it definitely also adds to you a lot, especially on the personal aspect, definitely. So it is something that definitely anybody should try to experience and do.
Mhm. And I can sense and I can feel your passion and your willingness to be in the mission again. So we wish your next missions will be smooth and everything will finish on time, and you are back again to the field.
I hope so.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Samah, for your time and for the information you shared with us
I hope
today.
so too. Thank you, Rasha. Thank
And today is the second webinar of ongoing sessions about the women in MSF. So please follow us on MSF UAE as we are hosting more voices from the organizations from women leaders. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Uh,
Rasha. I didn't hear it all well, but thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, Samah. Thank you. Okay, bye bye. Salam.